everyone! Today we're continuing to stream the Roblox game Grow a Garden, chewing gum, spouting nonsense, and just having a good time together. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. It really means a lot to me. And your support helps make the streams even better. All right, listen up. I'm sitting here chewing gum that tastes like someone tried to explain bananas to an alien, and they got it completely wrong and turned it into a sauce. My tongue feels like it's an acid, but in a good way, like my brains, telling me you're fine, but still pulls the fire alarm just in case. And honestly, why do we even have brains if they can't just shut off for a couple days, like a fridge on defrost? Just power down, go limp, no thoughts, no stress, just like a sock on a radiator in February. Warm air, soft silence, maybe the faint smell of meatballs. I had a friend once who said meatballs are like tiny burgers with no ambition. I disagree. Meatballs are a philosophy. It's not about the shape, it's about survival. They get formed, however, tossed into heat, burned a little, flipped, and they still taste fine. That's life. You mess up, you flip over, you keep cooking. Do you flip your pillow to the cool side? Or are you one of those heroes who just lies there and suffers like a discount warrior? Speaking of suffering, hit that subscribe button and drop a like, because our goal is 1,000 subscribers, and without you, this hamster army is just me yelling into the void. But with you, we become a digital tribe, coated in memes and powered by chaotic energy. I swear, silliness is underrated. People think being serious is mature, but it's a trap. It's like a dumpling with no filling. Looks nice, feels hollow. Imagine lying on a white bed, staring at a white ceiling with the words "Do you really matter?" written in Comic Sans. But you do matter, especially if you've got gum in your mouth and this stream on in the background. That's already +3 to inner peace. And if you drop a comment like "I'm here for the hamster," then I'm instantly your biggest fan. You know what I think about sometimes. Why does no one talk about where all the socks go from the washing machine? I put into get one back. The other just disappears, like it got accepted into some sock-based alternate dimension, where it's the main character of a cartoon and fights off a giant vacuum cleaner. And the vacuum? It's adulthood. It sucks in dreams and spits out receipts. And I'm standing there, one sock, underwear, confused. But at least I'm not the vacuum. That means I still have a chance. Maybe we're all just lint in someone else's filter. But while I'm streaming, I'm a cyclone. I'm an airborne sandwich of half-formed thoughts and questionable logic. And you're the seasoning. So hit that subscribe button. A like is a vitamin, free, and it protects you from boredom. You ever close your eyes and eat chips and realize you can't tell the flavor until the third bite? Your brain's like, wait, what's this? Cheese, sour cream, poison, and then goes, okay, just salt and broken dreams. But you keep eating because taste is emotion, not science. And emotionally, I'm currently operating at calm chaos. I chew, I stream. I fall apart like a couch that collapses at the word renovation. And if you're sitting there thinking, what is even happening? Perfect. That means you're in the right place. If everything made sense, you'd either be me or chewing the same gum. Which means we're mentally linked. And since we're synced up now, go ahead and subscribe. Be part of the chaos, because the next part is going even deeper. I've got thoughts lined up about fridges with self-esteem issues and cockroach philosophers. And speaking of cockroaches, have you ever looked at one and thought, this guy's seen things? Like, truly seen the rise and fall of empires under the fridge, while we're here worried about Wi-Fi. That dude's been surviving kitchen, wars, and cereal floods since 2003. I feel like if a cockroach wrote a memoir, it would be banned for revealing the truth about human laziness. But we don't want the truth, we want snacks and pixels. And don't tell me that's shallow. Pixels are modern fire. Primitive people gathered around flames. We gather round Roblox avatars screaming into the void, and it's beautiful. It's evolution, baby. Except now, instead of hunting mammoths, we're hunting likes. Likes are the new mammoths. Hard to catch, impressive to show off. And they still give your brain that little burst of I matter. And if we're talking about mattering, let me ask you this. Why do toasters have a setting that burns the bread into carbon? Who's using setting 9? Are they trying to summon demons through toast? Because I swear, no human has ever said yes, I want my breakfast to taste like regret. And yet that setting exists. It's there, waiting, like a threat, like a dare. And that's how I feel about most buttons in life. Like elevators that have a door close button that doesn't actually work. It's placebo control. They give us buttons to push so we feel important. But deep down the universe is like, yeah, okay, hamster, press your silly buttons while I do whatever I want. And I still press them. I press every single one, because if I don't, who will? Maybe the entire balance of the cosmos depends on me chewing gum and smacking that elevator button while thinking about H. Our water has no flavor, but still tastes like something. How does that make sense? It's like saying silence has a sound, which it kind of does, but only when it's really quiet and your brain starts panicking like, what's missing? And fills in the gap with buzzing. Buzzing is your brain's default wallpaper. That's why when people say, I want peace and quiet, what they actually get is peace and a weird ringing that makes you remember that one embarrassing moment from 7th grade. And speaking of that, I swear, memories are the worst improv actors. You tell your brain, show me a happy moment. And it's like, how about that time you called your teacher mom in front of the class? Thanks, brain. Really helpful. That's why I trust my gum more than my neurons at this point. Gum never betrays you. It just loses flavor and quietly fades out of your life, like a side character in a bad sitcom. Honestly, I feel like I might be the side character in someone else's life, just chewing gum and monologuing in the background while they go through their main story arc. But if that's true, then guess what? I'm gonna be the most memorable side character ever. The one with weird energy and too much screen time. The one people quote even though they don't understand why. Because confusion is a type of charisma. If you can confuse someone just enough, they'll follow you out of sheer curiosity. That's how cults start, probably. Not that I'm starting a cult, unless we're talking about a cult of likes and subscriptions. In which case, yes, absolutely, sign up right now, be part of the hamster uprising. No robes required. Just hit the button and chew metaphorical gum with me. I say metaphorical, because digital gum hasn't been invented yet. But it's only a matter of time. Someone out there is coding gum physics as we speak. Imagine downloading flavor packs like DLC. You want strawberry bubblegum meets gold steel. That's $2.99. And I'd buy it, because I've made worse choices. Like that time I tried to microwave a burrito still wrapped in foil. You don't understand. Chaos until you've watched your snack turn into a lightning show. But hey, we live and learn. Or we live and forget, and just do it again, depending on how much brain cell storage you've got left. Mine's about 12%, and most of that's full of cartoon-themed songs I didn't even like. They just got stuck in there like mental graffiti. One time I tried to meditate, and all I heard was the jingle from an old cereal ad, looping forever while I sat cross-legged like a confused granola bar. That's when I realized I'm not built for inner peace. I'm built for outer nonsense. So here I am, streaming, chewing, thinking about ducks in shoes and whether clouds have names they keep. Secret from us. And if clouds do have names, I bet they're way cooler than ours. Like not Steve or Jessica, but stuff like Whisper Fang or Moistler the Soft. Because honestly, If I were a giant floating sky thing that rained on people for fun, I'd want a dramatic name too. People always say it's just a cloud, but that's exactly what a cloud would want you to think. They're watching us, silently judging every time you leave the house without an umbrella, and they ruin your day. They don't accidentally block the sun, they decide to. And I respect that kind of petty energy. That's the kind of mood I aim for. Calm, floating chaos with a chance of ruining someone's picnic. And speaking of ruining things, I once tried to fix a broken controller with tape, a spoon, and pure confidence. Didn't work, but I felt spiritually accomplished. Sometimes that's all that matters. Effort over outcome. Like when you're bad at cooking, but you still proudly present your microwave disaster like it's fine dining because, hey, it's hot, it's edible, and you didn't start a fire this time. Progress. People always expect greatness, but greatness is just a pile of failed attempts with a nice Instagram filter on top. That's why I'm not chasing perfection. I'm chasing vibes. If it's weird and kinda works, that's good enough for me. Like socks with sandals or cereal at midnight. Judge me, I dare you. But while you're judging, I'm thriving. I'm leveling up in chaos, evolving into something new. A creature powered by gum and stray thoughts and way too much screen time. My evolution path is regular hamster gives streamer hamster gives philosophical glitch in the algorithm. And you're witnessing it in real time, which means you're part of the lore now. You can't unsubscribe from that. You're into deep. Might as well hit the real subscribe button while you're at it. It's free, it's painless, and it unlocks 3% more weirdness in your day. That's a proven fact by me and no one else. Also, if you've ever wondered why your brain suddenly brings up the word spatula during serious conversations. Yeah, same. I was once in the middle of explaining the meaning of existence, and my brain just whispered, spatula, and I forgot everything. Brains are rude like that. You're trying to be deep, and it just throws in a random kitchen utensil to keep you humble. Which is why I don't try to sound smart anymore. I just say stuff and let the universe sort it out. Maybe someday scientists will find my streams and use them to study modern digital nonsense, and they'll call it hamstercore, a genre defined by chewing sounds, fragmented thoughts, and the eternal struggle between logic and complete chaos. And honestly, if I become a footnote in a research paper, I'll be proud. It means I left a mark, even if it's just a weird smudge in the corner of history. Because the goal isn't to be remembered clearly, the goal is to make people pause and go, wait, what did I just watch? That's the real legacy. Not fame, not money, just confusion with a hint of admiration. Like when someone sees a pigeon wearing a bread necklace and goes, wow, that bird's living its best life. That's me. I'm that pigeon. And this stream, this is the bread necklace. Beautiful, pointless, and slightly stale, but unforgettable. So if you're still here watching this and your brain hasn't completely melted, congratulations, you're built different. You're already one of us. And you know what that means. Yes, it means subscribe because we're inching toward the 1,000. And you don't want to miss when this chaotic train finally grows wings and flies into a volcano of digital glory, or just into more Roblox. Probably more Roblox, but you get the idea. And honestly, if this chaotic digital train did grow wings, it wouldn't be a sleek futuristic hovercraft or some anim bird jet. No, it would be made of cardboard, duct tape, leftover pizza crusts, and raw determination, and still somehow fly. That's the energy I want from life. Not perfect, not polished, just airborne nonsense held together by whatever I found under the couch. Speaking of the couch, have you ever dropped the remote, reached under, and come back with not just the remote, but also 3 hair ties, an old receipt, and a raisin that may or may not be alive? Like, congratulations, you've discovered a pocket, dimension, every couch is secretly a portal. We're just too afraid to explore. But me, I believe in the under-couch lands. There's history down there, civilizations. Probably a gum wrapper society where I'm considered a god because of how much I chew. That's right. Somewhere under my furniture, there's a little gum kingdom building shrines to the stream. And I honor them the only way I know how, by continuing to talk nonsense into the void while my gum gives up slowly, one molecule at a time. But that's fine. Gum is like a life coach. It starts out exciting, full of flavor and promises, then slowly fades and makes you do all the work. But you keep going because you're not a quitter. You chew until the end, and that's kind of how I live. I commit to the bit, even if the bit stopped being funny 3 hours ago. Because if you abandon the bit abandons you. And then what are you left with? Silence, reflection, maybe even taxes. No thank you, I'll stick with the bit. I'd rather spiral into absurdity than scroll through my inbox. Also, let's be honest. If you're still watching this and nodding, you get it. You're one of the rare few who've built up immunity to logic. Welcome to the team. The elite few. The gum chewers. The brain melters. The full-time thinkers of thoughts that go nowhere but feel important anyway. Like, why do we call it a building if it's already built? Shouldn't it be called a built? And why does my microwave ask me if I want to add 30 seconds? Like it's offering me a side quest in an RPG? Yes, microwave, I accept your challenge. I will heat this pizza like it's a mission from the gods. Because everything can be epic if you pretend hard enough. Waking up, boom, boss fight. Brushing your teeth, weapon upgrade montage. Doing laundry, final trial of courage and socks. It's all in the mindset. And my mindset is permanently set to one of everything secretly funny. Because once you flip that switch, life becomes way easier to survive. It's hard to panic about the future when you're busy wondering if pigeons understand fashion. And I swear they do. There's always that one pigeon that walks like it's modeling for invisible cameras. Pure confidence. Strut level 100. That's the energy I try to channel when I walk into any room. Slightly clueless, but undeniably iconic. Like, yes, I may have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it with enough conviction that no one questions me. And that's the secret to everything. Not knowing, but not caring that you don't know. Confidence is just loud confusion. That's how I stream. That's how I live. And that's how we're going to hit 1,000 subs. One confused, confident hamster, and an unstoppable wave of like-minded chaos enthusiasts. So if you haven't subscribed yet, this is your sign. Become part of this beautiful mess. Add your brain to the soup. Toss your logic out the window and replace it with questions like, do fish yawn? Or what if spoons had emotions? Because that's the kind of stream this is. One long, slow slide into a philosophical playground made of rubber ducks and existential cereal. And if cereal is existential, then I swear granola is the philosopher of the breakfast world. It's crunchy, difficult, slightly smug, and full of secrets. You never really know what's in it. Raisins, almonds, little rocks, probably a metaphor. Meanwhile, cornflakes are just sad snowflakes that gave up. And don't even get me started on those rainbow-colored sugar puffs. Like eating clown emotions. I ate them once and immediately forgot math. That's the price of joy sometimes. Pure sugar, zero memory. But maybe that's the point. Maybe forgetting is freedom. Like, think about it. If you can't remember your mistakes, maybe they didn't happen. That's why I forgive myself instantly for everything. Burnt toast? Fine. Missed a deadline? Hey. Accidentally said you to when the cashier told me to enjoy my meal. Iconic. Honestly, every socially awkward moment I've ever had just makes me more powerful. It's like collecting cringe stones. Gather enough and you ascend. That's how I know I'm leveling up. I've said bye, love you to a complete stranger and survived. I once waved back at someone who wasn't waving at me, and I saluted. Didn't even flinch. Because at that point, reality doesn't matter. You have to own the moment. Become the moment. Be the accidental salute. And that's exactly the kind of energy we're building here. This stream isn't just noise, it's a movement. A weird, sticky, sugar-fueled journey through the inner workings of a brain that refuses to shut up. Because silence is dangerous. If I'm quiet for too long, my brain starts asking serious questions, like what's your purpose? Or should you be drinking this much soda at 2 a.m.? And I'm not about that. I'd rather stay loud and confused forever. That's safer. That's me. And maybe that's you too. If you're nodding along right now while also trying to figure out where this is going, spoiler, it's not going anywhere. That's the fun part. It's a thought treadmill. You're running full speed, but you never leave the room. Great cardio for the soul. And while we're here, let me tell you something about worms. Yeah, worms, they have 5 hearts. 5. Meanwhile, I have 1 heart, and it's barely keeping up with my gum addiction and whatever's happening inside. My head right now, why does a worm get 5 hearts? What's it doing with all of them? Emotional multitasking is 1 for regret and 1 for ambition. I want answers. I want to meet a worm therapist. Someone who's like Gary the worm is dealing with some deep soil trauma. And I'd nod and be like, I feel that. Because worms are out here living with more cardio than I'll ever have, no spine, and still contributing to the planet. Meanwhile, I can barely keep a cactus alive. And don't say cactuses are easy. They're not. They judge you. Quietly. You water them once a month, and they still act like you tried to drown them. Just like my printer. Oh no, don't get me started on printers. The ultimate drama queens. You ask it to print 1 page, and suddenly it's like there's a problem with tray 2, even though there is no tray 2. It just made that up to feel important. Printers have main character syndrome, and I won't stand for it. I will, however, keep rebooting it because it's still somehow essential to society, even though I haven't needed to print anything except regret in 5 years. And yet, here I am, streaming, rambling, probably being printed out in someone's dream journal as we speak. And if that's you, hi. I hope this hamster voice echoing in your mind is making your subconscious slightly more entertaining. Because that's what this is really about. Making life slightly weirder. Adding just enough confusion to spice up your day like mystery seasoning in instant noodles. You don't know what it is, but it's working and you're too far in to question it now. And you know what? That's how all the best things in life work. You don't really know what's happening, but it's too late to stop. And suddenly you're emotionally attached to something like a badly drawn NPC in a free Roblox game. Or a chipped mug with no handle that somehow tastes better than all the other mugs. That's the power of irrational loyalty. Like how I still use the same keyboard even though the spacebar squeaks and the E key is sticky. From some unidentified snack incident in 2022. It's not about comfort, it's about commitment. Same with my chair. It creaks like a haunted pirate ship every time I move, and I've grown attached to it. That creak is part of my personality now. If I sit in a silent chair, I feel like I'm lying to my audience. People need the sound effects, the ambience, the full sensory experience of one gum chewing, possibly sentient hamster slowly unraveling live. And speaking of unraveling, have you ever stared at a loaf of bread and thought, this is the most honest food? It doesn't pretend to be fancy. It just sits there, soft, edible, full of holes. Like me emotionally after reading the comments section. But I read them anyway, because deep down, we all crave interaction. Even if it's just someone typing, bro, what are you talking about? Or why is this hamster yelling about bread? Valid question. But I'm not yelling. I'm sharing. This is me giving you the gift of unnecessary thoughts. You didn't ask for them, but now they're in your brain forever. like a song you hate, but accidentally memorized. And you'll think of it randomly at 3 a.m. while brushing your teeth or walking through the store, and suddenly, bam. Why does soup feel like a hot smoothie? You're welcome. That's the brand. I'm not here to educate or inform. I'm here to infect your consciousness with concepts that make you stop mid-bite and reconsider reality. And if you've ever looked at a vending machine and felt like it was judging your snack choices, congratulations, we're on the same wavelength. I swear vending machines have silent opinions. You pick the weird off-brand cookies, and the whole machine hesitates. Like, really? That's who you are. And yeah, that is who I am. I eat expired gummies with pride. I microwave food with reckless abandon. I once made spaghetti in a coffee pot just to see if it was possible. Spoiler, it was. Was it edible? Debatable. Was it art? Absolutely. And that's what I bring to this stream. Chaotic art. The kind that doesn't belong in a museum, but maybe in a forgotten USB drive labeled "Do Not Open." And now you've opened it. Too late. We're bonded, mentally glued together with brain jelly and gum. If that sounds gross, that's because it is. But it's also beautiful, because this right here, this nonsense, this spiral of unfiltered thoughts about clouds and printers and emotionally complex bread, it's pure. It's not trying to be smart or deep. It just is. And in a world where everything's curated and optimized and fake smiling for thumbnails, maybe what we need is a little more raw, stupid honesty. The kind that smells faintly of bubblegum and bad life choices. The kind that doesn't care if it makes sense. Because if it made sense, it wouldn't be worth watching. And if you agree, even a little, even if you're confused or mildly concerned for my mental state, hit that subscribe button. Be confused with us. Our growing army of like-minded oddballs is just getting started. We're building something here. Not a fan base, a habitat. A weird, cozy digital burrow where gum chewers, overthinkers, serial philosophers, and late-night snack rebels can scream into the void together and know that someone, somewhere, probably a hamster with a headset, is screaming back. And if you've ever screamed into a pillow and then immediately apologized to it, you already understand the vibe. That's emotional awareness. That's growth. That's what this stream is all about. Evolving through nonsense. Because growth doesn't have to look like a motivational poster with mountain peaks and someone standing triumphantly in yoga pants. Sometimes growth looks like realizing you've been using conditioner as shampoo for 3 weeks and just rolling with it. Or discovering a bag of chips in your backpack that expired last year and still eating them out of respect. Because snacks are sacred. They traveled with you. They waited. They deserve a chance. That's loyalty. And I bring that same energy here every time I hit start stream. I don't prepare. I don't plan. I appear. And I trust the chaos to carry me, just like a floating pool noodle in the ocean. No real direction, but vibes for days. That's me. And honestly, that's all I ask of you. Don't question the noodle, just float. And if we get swept out to sea, at least we're doing it together, surrounded by the weirdest thoughts the human brain has ever chewed on while pretending to play a game. Not even really playing. Just vibing near the game, letting the Roblox background noise fill in the gaps between one dumb idea and the next. And trust me, there are gaps. My thoughts aren't connected. They just hang out near each other like weird uncles at a barbecue. One moment I'm thinking about socks with personality disorders. Next I'm wondering if fish have dreams. And then I'm back to chewing. This gum like it owes me money. It doesn't. It owes me nothing. But I chew out of principle because I'm committed. Because I am a hamster of my word. And that means something. Maybe not to the world. Maybe not even to YouTube's monetization bot, who's probably very confused right now. But it means something to me. And if you're still here, watching, listening, somehow absorbing this string of nonsense, like it's ancient wisdom. Then you're already part of this universe I'm building. One full of snack-based metaphysics and low-level existential dread, where the only requirement is that you show up and let your brain unravel like a roll of discount toilet paper on a windy day. And no, that's not a metaphor. That's just what this feels like. Controlled chaos, predictable absurdity. Like knowing the exact second your soda is about to foam over, but still doing nothing to stop it because, hey, at least something's happening. That's us. That's the stream. It's not about entertainment. It's about experiencing a moment you'll never be able to explain to anyone else. Try telling your friend you watched a hamster talk about vending machines, worm therapy, and philosophical bread while chewing gum for 30 minutes, and see how fast they look at you like you need professional help. But that's okay. Not everyone is ready. Not everyone can handle the flavor packet of life we're opening here. But you're chewing it. You're in. You're locked in with the weirdest, strangest, most mentally sideways community growing out of the pixelated dirt like a beautiful, glitched-out flower. And the best part, we're only just getting started. Because once you plant the seed of nonsense, it will grow. You don't even have to water it. Just leave it near a screen and feed it secondhand anxiety and leftover memes, and it'll sprout into something. Gee, unexplainable. That's how this whole thing works. You think you're just watching a hamster chew gum and talk trash into a headset, but suddenly you find yourself contemplating whether chairs get jealous of each other. Like, what if the gaming chair feels superior to the kitchen stool, but deep down wishes it was humble and useful like the folding chair that shows up only during holidays? I think about that. I think too much. And the more I think, the less I understand. But also the more I accept. Because life isn't for understanding, it's for surviving. With just enough personality to make other people say what's wrong with them. And if they're saying that about you, that means you're doing something right. That means you're standing out. That means you're already ready to be part of the hamster cult. I mean, community. We're not a cult. There are no rituals. Unless you count chewing gum while aggressively liking the video and muttering this is fine under your breath, which I do. That's a ritual now. You've been initiated. Welcome. And while we're welcoming people, let's welcome intrusive thoughts. You know, those tiny gremlins that pop into your head uninvited and go, what if you just threw your phone out the window right now? Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But thank you, I guess. It's like my brain is trying to speedrun self-destructs for no reason. And I respect that energy. Chaotic neutral, zero productivity, maximum imagination. That's the spirit I stream with. I'm not here to improve lives. I'm here to confuse and inspire at the same time. Like a motivational poster written in crayon. Something that says believe in yourself, but misspells every word and still hits emotionally. That's art. That's honesty. That's real. Because the world is already full of people trying to be perfect. What it needs more of is gum-chewing rodents screaming about chairs and salad psychology at 2 for OP. By trait with a Roblox game barely running in the background. That's what I provide. That's my gift. I give you the exact opposite of what you were probably searching for and then make you like it. Because it turns out, underneath all the noise, this chaos has a rhythm, a flavor, a vibe. And maybe that's why you're still watching. Because some part of your brain, the part that thinks soup is suspicious and birds are too confident, is finally feeling seen. And I see you. I do. I see you sitting there, snack in one hand, mouse in the other, wondering if it's okay to feel so oddly calm in the middle of all this nonsense. It is. You found your digital burrow. Your safe, weird little echo chamber, where reality bends slightly and everything smells faintly like strawberry gum and mild concern. And the best part? You don't have to do anything. Just exist. Float through this like a confused balloon at a graduation party that no one invited. Drift, my friend. Drift proudly. And while you drift, let yourself forget what you were originally doing before this stream started. Because let's be real, you didn't come here for knowledge. You didn't click play thinking. Today I'm going to absorb structured, helpful content. No, you came here because your brain needed a break, but your soul still wanted noise. You wanted a kind of noise that doesn't demand attention, but gently taps on your consciousness, like a raccoon knocking on your window with a stick, asking, "You good?" And no, we're not good. But we're here, and sometimes that's enough. Existing at 3% mental battery, half chewing gum, half questioning reality, and fully committed to watching a digital hamster spiral into increasingly irrelevant monologues. That's not failure. That's alignment. That's self-care in its weirdest, most beautiful form. And if you think that sounds dramatic, good. Let it be dramatic. Let everything be a little over the top. Pour your cereal like it's a music video. Walk to the fridge like you're in a slow-motion movie about your own emotional awakening. Open a bag of chips like you're revealing a sacred artifact from an ancient snack temple. Because life is boring when it's played straight. And that's why I refuse to play it straight. I zig when logic zags. I monologue about toothbrushes and conspiracy theories involving ceiling fans. And I do it while chewing gum so loudly, the algorithm probably thinks this is an ASMR channel run by a small mammal with emotional problems, which, to be fair to it, kind of is. But at least it's honest. No filters here, no plans. Just me, the chew, the thoughts, and whatever random pixels Roblox throws on the screen behind my madness. And that's why you're still here. Because deep down, something in you recognizes that this isn't just chaos, this is a kind of comfort. It's a digital blanket made of word salad and existential snack philosophy. It's the kind of stream that feels like wandering into a basement filled with lava lamps, neon signs that say do not question, and a fridge that only dispenses Capri Sun and bad advice. And you look around and go, yeah, this is exactly where I need to be right now. And I get that. I've felt that. That weird peace that comes from totally letting go of trying to understand. So you sit, you listen, maybe you chew gum in solidarity, or maybe you don't. Maybe you're just staring blankly at the screen while your brain slowly turns into microwave static. Either way, you're doing great. I believe in your ability to vibe, not succeed, not improve, not learn, just vibe. Just survive the day with whatever dignity you can scrounge from your junk drawer of emotions. And if no one's told you today, I'm proud of you, for real. Not in the usual fake internet way, but in the very real you chose to sit through this instead of scrolling TikTok for the 50th time way. That's commitment. That's courage. That's subscribing to a talking hamster. Kind of energy. And we need more of that in the world. All right, that's it for today's stream. Thanks so much for hanging out, chewing gum, and diving into this madness with me. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed. It really helps a lot and keeps them good vibes coming. Can't wait to see you all next time for more weirdness and fun in Grow a Garden. Stay awesome and catch you later.